Okay, we got our keyword research out of the way. We got our domain name picked, and now it's time to find a nice web hosting service. Now, probably the best way to do this is to just simply go to your favorite search engine, type in web hosting services, and boom, start looking. And right off the bat, you're going to see something like this that offer you the 10 best. They've already done a lot of the research for you, right? Well, let me just mention this to you now before you start getting too excited. A lot of times, and I'm not saying this across the board, but a lot of times these can be somewhat biased. In other words, they provide you with what they say is the 10 best based on the amount of commission they will make if you sign up through their links. Again, I'm not saying this across the board that that's the case with all of these. I just want to give you a better idea, a better option to go with to get a truly unbiased opinion on the best web hosting service to start with anyway, because you can always change later on if you find the need to. But go to a forum. My favorite would be the Warrior Forum. Now they just recently changed from a free forum format to a paid forum format, and I think it's like 35 bucks for a lifetime. Maybe it's cheaper, 30 bucks, whatever, but it's well worth it. Now you can go there and do some looking for free. It doesn't cost anything to do any looking, but you can, I think it's at the point in which you want to type in a thread or to start the question, that's when you're going to have to actually be a member. And believe me, it'll probably be the best 30 bucks you spend. Sign up for Warrior Forum right off the bat. And then whether you do or not, using the forum idea, be it Warrior Forum, Digital Point Forum, I Am for Newbies Forum, fantastic, especially if you're just starting off. There's a wealth of information here. Mike Mertz, this guy knows his stuff. So go here, go to the Warrior Forum, sign up with the Warrior Forum, and type in somewhere about what is your favorite web hosting service and why, or what's the worst web hosting service and why. Get a well-rounded view from folks as to why they use the web hosting service that they use and so on. You might even get some in there that will offer you their own service because they themselves are a reseller. Again, just do some poking around, do some research, because this is something, even though it might be, $4 to $40 a month, it's something that you want to get long term. So you want to start off strong if at all possible, but remember though that you're not locked in for a lifetime. You can change later if you need to, but you want to go into it with the idea of not having to change, because it can be a pain in the behind to have to change all of your stuff from one hosting account to another. So anyway, let me just show you the Warrior Forum that I'm referring to here. This is the right site here. And there is just so much information in here that it just boggles the mind. Come on in here, go to, whatever forum it would be in here. Not the special offers, but maybe this one here, discussion forum, and just type in there. And you might even just do a search for web hosting services and find a bazillion of them in there. So that's how you can get an unbiased opinion. Let's head on over to HostGator, and this pretty much holds true for a lot of them that have various types of services that they provide within their particular company. HostGator being the one I'm referring to right now. They've got a typical plain Jane hosting account where it's a shared hosting. In other words, this one computer, this one server right here, you and maybe 500 other people have websites on there. So that's a little beyond the scope of this video, but just let it be known though that there could be a whole lot of stuff going on right here between you and the others that are sharing that account. And then you have the reseller account, which is basically allowing you the opportunity to resell this service. So if you're into marketing and you've got a little bit of online experience under your belt, then this would be a great way to go, because you're able to recoup your expenses and even make a profit just from hosting other people's accounts. Now with that comes certain managerial duties that goes beyond the scope of this video as well, but I just want to let you know though that with this added ability to make a buck is the added expense too. This was 25 bucks a month versus the $5 a month here. Then from there, another jump up is a dedicated, whereas in this case, you can see the expense there. You're not sharing it with anybody else. This one computer is yours. But along with that comes some additional experience required by you that just is not required here. But at this point, whenever you're at this level of online marketing or online sales, then you're going to have that experience. So it's not that big of a deal when you get to that point. But there's a lot of cool stuff you can get with this, depending upon the term of your agreement with them, whether it's 1 year, 3 years, would depend on the amount of the monthly expense. So there might be some up here, like it says, for $4.95. You might have to lock into a 3-year term to get that. But there are other services out there like Host Monster, for example, that provide you with a free domain. So in addition to the one you already purchased, you'll just have a second domain. But with a reseller account, one of the cool things with this is you have a separate control panel or a cPanel style control panel for every single domain name that you have here. Now, just starting off, you're only going to have the one domain, but again, whenever you get to this point, a reseller account might be better for you, whether you're reselling it or not, just simply because of the fact you have the ability to get a separate cPanel control panel for each domain name that you have. And that's basically it. I just wanted to introduce you to the way to get an unbiased opinion on who to go with, and I wanted to introduce you to some of the added extras you would get with a particular web hosting service. HostGator's the one that I'm going to go with, but HostMonster is another one that's great. Again, don't take my word for it. Do your own little bit of research. It won't take that much. Just hit up the forums and you'll find out. One of the things you want to keep in mind is that whenever you lock yourself into a hosting account, they're going to send you an email, a very important email. You want to copy the information from within that email telling you about your password, your username, your IP address, all that cool stuff, and you want to put that on a text document and lock that away in that folder that I talked about in the prior video on organizing your online marketing. So that way you've got the information needed to log into your cPanel to create your FTP client. But that's going to bring us to the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching, and you have a great day.